Let's do some politics. Now, a number of NPP supporters have hit the streets protesting what they call injustice, as some aspiring candidates have been disqualified in constituencies where incumbents are ministers of state. According to them, they want the party to level the playing field and give the electorate the opportunity to choose who they want to lead them. Well, we'll be speaking to some of the disqualified aspirants, but first, let's take you to Kumasi, where supporters of the disqualified aspiring candidate for Jabing staged a demonstration to get the party to reverse its decision. Ohiming Teria has been following this development. He joins us live with more. Ohiming, talk us through the latest in this matter.
Yes, Kojo, in the Jabing constituency, supporters are unhappy because they believe their preferred candidate is being sidelined, and the executives of the party are imposing the incumbent MP, Ama Poma Boatin, on them so that there won't be any contest in Jabing to allow the MP to go unopposed. And this is what has incited the supporters. And today at Nobuam, also in the constituency, about 300 supporters of the party gathered to invoke curses and also called for the support of the river deities to support them in their cause so that justice will prevail. According to supporters who claim to be constituency polling station executives, came from almost 10 polling stations from Jabing constituency, and they tell me they have been in this business for a very long time, and this candidate that they have been rooting for, Francis Owusu Echao, a mining consultant, is contesting the position for the third time. So they believe the executives will have given him the opportunity to go to the primaries, and if he fails, then they will be satisfied. But this time around, because the executives are not prepared to allow the rules of the game to play along, then they have decided to also take this particular action. So today, about 300 of them mass up in the river Abresia, where they invited over 7 deities, the spirits of 7 deities, to bring them justice in this cause. And some of them especially says if this will not work for them, then more actions will follow after today's incident. And beyond invoking the curses, they also slaughtered sheep and also poured libation to incite the gods to support them in this cause. And this is action that the traditional authorities have also spoken against, and they say they will summon the leadership of this group to the Nobuam Palace and also ask them why they took this action, because invocation of curses has been banned in the Ashanti region. Kwajo, the leader of the group, Ransford Obin, says this will not be the last action, and they believe that yesterday's a comment by NPP Vice Chairman Mr. F.F. Anto on a local radio station in Kumasi, indicating that the Member of Parliament for Jabing will be allowed to go unopposed, show that there's been machination by the executives to sideline 2 other contestants, including Mr. Francis Owusu Echao. And that is why today they went to the riverside, gathered in their numbers, though there's been a ban on social gathering and political campaign as part of the COVID-19 protocol measures. They went there and also to call for the support of the gods so that they will have fairness and justice in this cause, Kojo.
Fascinating development. Now, Ohiming, tell us, so at this point, how is the party responding to all that is unfolding? Or are they considering the requests of these protesting members?
Unfortunately, I have not been able to speak to the party executives, but the information I have picked from close sources indicates that actions of this nature cannot influence decision of the national executives. The national executives' decisions are backed by the party's constitution, and no amount of pressure like this can compel them to rescind their decision. But even then, the decision of the vetting committee is yet to be made public. So those who are contesting, for instance, the two other contestants or the aspirants, Mr. Francis Owusu Echao and one other person, Opoku Menu, are also expected to be informed of the party's decision. So for the NPP executives, they are unperturbed about this particular action.
Right. Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on this, no doubt, as it unfolds. And yes, we know you'll do that for us, Ohiming. I want to thank you very much for that update. Ohiming Teria there, a correspondent with the politics desk, bringing us that story from the Ashanti region. Now, we can now listen to the Ashanti regional organizer who spoke on this.
Body would sit together and have a meeting, and apart from what the General Secretary will bring, we as a region too, our preparation towards this primaries, like we said, all those who are involved in the contest especially, will meet them and talk to them, so that, because look, at the end of the day, if we finish the contest and there are so many people who are aggrieved, it won't help the party. This is the stronghold. So when we are doing things, we have to do things very well. So I personally believe that it's going to be a before and after primaries. Before, what the party need to do, we'll meet the various contestants and talk to them. After the primaries too, we'll meet them and talk to them, so that after the primaries, we'll go with a united front.
Now, Eliasu Tanko is our Northeast regional correspondent. He reports that over 300 supporters of the New Patriotic Party in Nalerigu and Gambaga in the region are protesting the alleged disqualification of a parliamentary aspirant, Peter Wuni Baga, who was suspended from the party last month. He joins us with more. Eliasu, tell us more about this demonstration of 300 people.
Well, the demonstration has just ended. It moved from Nalerigu, the regional capital, to Gambaga, where the protesters addressed the media. Now, according to them, they have heard, or the basis for this particular demonstration is that is the allegation that the national executives have invited this particular candidate, this particular aspirant, over a comment that he made on a radio station in the regional capital here, for which reason he was suspended. Now, according to the supporters, they heard that the national executives have invited this particular aspirant, and according to them, they are on their way disqualifying this particular aspirant. And so what they are demanding really is that they are asking that the suspension was illegal. They are asking the national executives to reverse this particular suspension that was imposed by the regional executives. They are also asking that all bottlenecks should be removed on the way of Mr. Peter Baga for him to contest this particular upcoming primaries. And so we saw a lot of elderly women, children, all over, coming from far-flung villages in the constituency to take part in this particular demonstration.
Now, Eliasu, it sounds to me as if this is somewhat a preemptive demonstration because they are anticipating his disqualification. But how is the party responding to this? Are they taking it seriously? Have they said anything?
Well, since 12th of last month, when the aspirant went on radio and granted this very explosive interview, there have been sharp divisions among executives and party supporters in this particular constituency. After that particular incident, party supporters came to warn the executive that there will be implications. They mentioned that they will be going onto the street to demonstrate. We saw immediately after they took this particular decision, over 75 members of the party in the constituency came to quit the party and join the opposition NDC. And so they have been, as I said, preemptive response, or these are some of the things that we should be expecting. But since the incident, the party executives have stayed away from, responding to this particular issue, especially to the media. And this particular demonstration has not been different. There have not been any comment from the party executives in the region.
Now, was this a sanctioned demonstration, as in were the police aware? Was there police protection? Or was there some objection from the police to this, this demonstration?
Well, after they moved the demonstration from the regional capital to Gambaga, I spotted the municipal police commander approach him and tried to find out whether he was aware of what was going on. He told me that he wasn't aware, and I asked him whether he thinks this particular demonstration was illegal, and he said he was not going to respond to that. But like I said, the municipal police commander and his men, about 4 of them, came around, and they stood around and watched this particular demonstration. But as to whether they sanctioned this particular demonstration, the police did not say.
Ilyasu, thank you so much for that update, and let's stay on it. That's Ilyasu Tanko, Northeastern Regional Correspondent. Now, not every candidate has taken the disqualification lightly. We're joined on Zoom now by some of these disqualified aspirants. First, though, Bernard Odro Nyako is a disqualified aspirant in Takrade. We also have Eric Ofuri, a disqualified aspirant in Etiwa. Let's speak to them. Eric, first of all, tell us about the decision taken. Why were you disqualified?
Yes, thank you so much for giving me this platform. In fact, it's very, very unfortunate that the National Parliamentary Committee took up this decision. When I went to the vetting, seriously, I wouldn't describe it as a vetting. It was like a war, because immediately I entered in, the renewed insult on me. And this is the second time I was contesting for the parliamentary candidate with the same incumbent. But I was so dismayed that immediately I entered a regional chairman, renewed insults to the tune of saying certain words I wouldn't like to say on this platform. I don't know, what it looked like. They will tell you, oh, your own constituency executives wrote this. So this is premeditated. Whatever actions the vetting committee did, I will say they planned it. It was a diabolical strategy they took, because they liaised with the regional executives and planned it.
So what were the specific reasons given for your disqualification?
One, they said I led a demonstration in 2017 when I was contesting for the DCE. And secondly, they said
you were contesting for DCE? Sorry, let's take them one by one, please. You contested for DCE?
Yes, in 2017.
You contested?
Yes, we were 17 people.
I'm confused. I thought DCEs are appointed by the president.
Yes, but I submitted my application to be a candidate. So let me put it, I was a candidate for the DCE position. Out of 16 contenders, I became successful among the last 4 among the modalities put forward by the party. So we went to the Flagstaff House for interview. And then I happened to be among the last 2 runners-up. But there was a group that was called Concerned Citizens for Etiwa East. And the group staged a demonstration saying that for the past 16 years, the DCE appointment had been going to Etiwa West. So this time, they are appealing to leadership to consider somebody from the East. And I don't know, I wasn't even part of this demonstration. I didn't sponsor, I didn't know anything. And look at it, from 2017 till now, I never knew I organized any demonstration of that nature until I got to the vetting room. So when I went there, Nano Bribuahin and the regional chairman, they said I organized a demonstration, so I'm not fit to contest. But we are all in Ghana here. We know the Public Order Act that guides demonstrations. If anybody wants to do demonstration, they appeal or they write to the police to get clearance, which I believe, and my research showed to me that the group they were granted permit and escort about 12 police officers, including the police commander for Etiwa, that is Enyinem.
Okay.
They guarded them, and they had a successful demonstration. In fact, no destruction to life and property.
So what I'm getting is that you were not a part of this demonstration, right?
I never even knew about this demonstration.
Then
so
perhaps
I told the vetting committee.
Then perhaps we shouldn't get into how the demonstration went since you were not there. But you can tell us what the other reasons were for your disqualification. Can you list them quickly for us?
Yes. The other reason was that they said when the president's nominee was mentioned, I paid a losing bonus. But I want to tell you to the fact that the nominee was confirmed once in the voting. When the assembly members in the districts all converged at Kwabin, the nominee was confirmed in a one-time voting. So I don't know why they also put it on me that I paid a losing bonus. If I paid a losing bonus, of course, it was going to push the elections to maybe a second or third round voting. Which
help us understand, what is a losing bonus? You paid a losing bonus?
Yes.
What is that?
In a situation where... Come again.
Just explain what a losing bonus is, please.
Yes. To them, that means I paid an amount of money to the assembly members that, okay, if you are able to vote against the candidates who was mentioned, then you give them a certain amount.
Right.
Which I never did.
Okay.
And
any other reasons?
All this without... Come again?
Any other reasons given for your disqualification?
Yes, the third reason was that they said I was part of a group that invoked cases, or I sponsored for cases to be invoked on the vetting committee. And I have been residing in the United States, so I got to Ghana that very day the cases was invoked. So I knew nothing about this cases that was invoked.
Okay.
Upon hearing that, before I went to the appeals committee, I did a disclaimer in the Daily Graphic that told them that I knew nothing, and I condemned such nefarious acts by
Any other reasons? I want to move on to your other disqualified colleagues. So any other reasons?
The other reason was that I haven't nurtured the party. You see, and this is where I found so wondering, because I contested in 2015. And since 2000, since the year 2000, I've sponsored the party. I've been part of TESCON. I was TESCON organizer in KNUST campus in 2008. I've done so much. I live in the United States, but I purchased air tickets to come and vote. I came down here in 2016.
Okay, let me bring in Bernard Odro-Nyarko. Mr. Odro-Nyarko is also a disqualified aspirant from Takoradi. Mr. Odro-Nyarko, thank you for your time with us. Do any of these reasons resonate with you, or were you given different reasons for your disqualification?
Good afternoon. Let me say good afternoon to our viewers. Could you
right, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
It is very sad we're getting this at the moment, but I agree with my brother Eric who just spoke, because from my point of view, I can specifically say the vetting that they did at Takoradi, it wasn't a vetting. I can't point for a fact. From my point of view, it was an insult. But in as much as we believe in that, for now, I can tell you for a fact that I've never received any official document that states that Bernard Odro-Nyarko is being disqualified. Until what I got from radio yesterday. And before God, I filled a form. A form was submitted to the executives. And for it to be appropriate, I expect that they write to us or they point it out to us. Bear whatever means that the party will bring to us. Then we will know whether or not we've been disqualified. And then they will give us reason. Because as I sit here, I don't know any reason. I have no, I wasn't informed. I don't have any reason that Bernard, you've been disqualified due to ABC.
Wow.
Until when I wasn't getting anything from Takoradi after the vetting, and then I saw the post out. So I also appealed, and I sat before the committee, and they told me, they said you weren't truthful. Now, but where from you not being untruthful, not you being untruthful. I filled the forms. You have the forms. Okay, you point to me. Okay, you said you were born 1980 something. You said you did this. So tell me, Bernard, we find out that your age, I mean, it's not correct. Or we find out what you say you are, it's not correct. Bernard, the address you gave us that you are in Takoradi is not correct. Then I can tell you for a fact that, okay, fine. What you are telling me holds. But you tell me they wrote on my form, he wasn't untruthful. What did I do? What did I say? That I'm not untruthful.
So did they tell you what you had said that was not truthful?
But they didn't.
Right. That's a fascinating story. Bernard, stay with us because I want this to be more of a conversation. So let's bring in Kafui. Kafui Amega Kojo is a disqualified aspirant from Atiwa East. That's the other side of the coin to his colleague Eric. Now, Kafui, tell us your story. Were you disqualified for any particular reasons?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity given me to maybe speak on this big platform of yours. We went for the vetting on the 7th of March, and then what came out of the vetting decision is that I'm an entrepreneur. I've established businesses out of the country, and then I have a microfinance institution out of Ghana, which was in Silarion. We did some business things in Silarion. Unfortunately for us in Silarion, when parties change hands, we were more handled, and unfortunately we have to lose our license in that country, and then have some depositors who has their funds, but finally their deposits were paid to them. So when we got to the vetting grounds, they used that one as an excuse that we had a business thing in Silarion, and then there was the publication in Silarion standard time. We stated that we took depositors' money and we couldn't pay, but then we showed documentation. The second issue was that we have benefited from cases that was involved on our behalf, but unfortunately, the case.
Hello, Kafui, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yeah, Kafui, if you, can you hear us? Right, we may have lost Kafui there. Kafui, are you there? So we may have lost Kafui, but I think we still have Bernard and Eric. So let's talk to Bernard for a moment. Now, you have been disqualified, and it doesn't appear. Oh, right. We have Kafui back. Sorry. Let's complete this with Kafui before we come back to Bernard and Eric. So Kafui, tell me, you are stating the reasons of your savings and loans or financial institution in Sierra Leone, which had some issues which you say you have resolved. But you've been disqualified based on that. Did they point to which of the bylaws of your party you are supposed to have breached by your business in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, you again, come up again.
Is there a particular bylaw in your party's books, your constitution, that you were quoted as having breached by your business in Sierra Leone?
No, there wasn't any of that nature. But then I believe that what happened at the vetting was something that was premeditated and situation which has brought about these issues. But then I believe that if the vetting was allowed for it to be more interactive, we could have had the privilege to have explained ourselves better. And then
were you not allowed to speak? Were you not allowed to speak at the vetting?
Have the opportunity to sit down to engage them in any interaction. It was only to go into vetting to realize that the decision was going to be handed over to you, and this was our decision from vetting. So they hand it over to you, and then you leave the vetting. I feel that was not the right thing to be done. But then that notwithstanding, we had an opportunity to appeal against the decision at the appeals committee. At the Kokomemi office, which was very fruitful. They engaged us very well. I engaged them for almost about an hour, and then they listened to our case. They got to understand that the issue that happened at the vetting, the National Parliamentary Vetting Committee in the region was not something that was credible to have disqualified us with. But then the decision will lie with NEC, whether for NEC to accept whether they will reverse the decision or they will uphold to the decision. And then unfortunately, we had NEC coming in.
So you are currently awaiting that decision, right?
That decision is already out, and then to indicate that NEC has opposed to the National Parliamentary Vetting decision that all disqualified applicants in the Eastern region would hold. They will not reverse any of the decisions. But I believe that it's the party's decision. We are in a situation that is not a comfortable situation looking at the COVID era. And even though I disagree strongly with the party, I respect their decision and I will live with it.
Right, so you are not going to take it any further. How about the other two? And please feel free to chip in, Eric and Bernard. Do you plan to take this up any further? What are you going to do?
Yeah, as my brother rightly said, the party's interest is supreme, and that we need to respect the party's decision. In as much as we do not agree, me for one, I do not agree with the reasons being in quotes. If it comes out that Bernard is disqualified, I will not, and then I will never drag this issue. As I said earlier on, the party's interest first, because I want to stand in the name of the party or be in the name of the party as is well, then serve the good people of Ghana. But if the party feels that, hey, look, Bernard, we don't want you, but we expect one X or Z to contest or to do that, fine. That is what we expect. So for me, I don't think I'm going to press any charges. I'm not going to press any court issue because we made it clear before we filled the form. There were rules and regulations, guidelines as part of it, that we are not going to go to court. In as much as I'm peeved, I'm not happy with the decision. I respect the party's decision, and then we keep moving forward.
That's interesting because as far as I understand it, you don't actually know the party's decision. So how can you respect it? The party hasn't told you what you were untruthful about, unless you know.
Within our party, what happens is that once NEC comes out with a decision, NEC's decision is such that they will not have to write to you. They will not have to write to you, but the decision is now out. The General Secretary has published the decision, and it has come out clear. But I believe that we should all come and then resolute around the party to ensure that we move the party into Victory 2020. It might not be a decision that we all like, but because of the supreme interest of the party, we need to accept it.
Right. Okay. I want you all to listen to this for a moment, and then we continue our conversation. So this is the Director of Elections for the NPP, Evans Nimako. He says that the party is working to resolve these issues. Let's listen to him and then get back to this.
For us, all these issues, we are human, and so yes, disagreement will come when official reports are communicated through the General Secretary. Appropriate actions are
Have you had any official reports of grievances?
If we are asking in reference to
the primary,
this ongoing process to conduct our primaries, yes, some people submitted petitions to the General Secretary to be forwarded to the National Parliamentary Appeals Committee, which was chaired by Mr. Peter McMahon, our former chairman, 2016 campaign manager, and still 2020 campaign manager. It tells you. It was supported by Dr. Dokufo, S.K. Boafo, Mantilizi, Madame Cecilia Abdandapa, other leading members of the party in that committee. So there were in-house discussion with all the aggrieved people, and it is expected, and they appreciated that the final decision will come from the National Executive Committee. And so by so doing, the General Secretary will issue the decisions from National Executive Committee. And it is expected that all aspirants will accept the final decision.
Okay. So there are petitions, but there are...
Petitions were received.
Okay.
Petitions were
How many petitions were received?
I think I can talk of 78, some by people who were not recommended by the vetting committee, and some by others who feel that people who had been recommended by the vetting committee has some issues to discuss, and that has gone on, and we've gone past that phase. That allowed the national chairman to call for the National Executive Committee to consider both reports from vetting committee and National Executive and the Appeals Committee.
When are you going to conclude with that as a party, so that those who have raised those petitions, put in those petitions, they will have some finality before this is convened?
Once the National Executive Committee comes out, that's the final.
When is that?
We've done that already.
Okay. So you've thrown the 78 petitions in the trash bin?
No, not that. I mean, within the 78, considerations were given. So some individuals who were not recommended by the vetting committee, the appeals committee recommended to NEC that their issue be reconsidered. And I'm saying that once the report was considered by a National Executive Committee, which the JS will issue out, it is deemed that the party has spoken.
Evans Nimakun there. Let me get reactions. Eric, I'll start with you. This is what the party is saying. How do you respond?
Yes, I think for me, the Director of Elections has spoken. He was the secretary to the Appeals Committee. They've come up with their decision. The decisions, as we all admit, we are not happy about it. But for the supreme interest of the party, we respect that decision, and we want to move forward.
Okay,
it is our interest to ensure we support the party to maintain power for 2020. It is not only becoming an MP that we can serve our constituents. We can serve our constituents in any of the capacities that we may have privately have ourselves, or from any part of the party. And we believe that the supreme interest of the party holds. For me, that is my belief.
All right. Now, I was asking Eric, actually. Eric, can you hear me? I think you have to unmute your Zoom feed. You have to remove the mute so that we can hear you when you speak. Let's try and let's get Eric to do that so we can hear him. Eric, let's try again. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, give me your reaction to what your party is saying.
Yes, in fact, I am very disappointed in what my party top-notch guys are doing, because this is the Dankwa Guzia Dombo tradition. We believe that when the time is right for contest, we allow everyone to contest. And most of these sitting MPs claim they are working. They are working hard, they're doing good and all that. It looks like some of them are afraid of a contest. And looking at all the processes, we followed through. We filed an appeal. And it's about 3 months now. No communication has whatsoever been done. And I believe it's very discouraging. As a party, we should respect our own constitution, our regulations that was put in trial to the vetting. And I think whatever action they have taken is in direct contravention to our norms. So personally, I'm very, very disappointed.
What are you going to do about it?
Undemocratic.
What's the plan? What do you intend to do?
Yes, technically, I have consulted with my lawyer, and I was waiting to get an official information regarding the appeal which I made. And I still haven't gotten any concrete news from them.
If you can take your finger off the screen so we can see you clearly. If you can hear me, please, you'll have to take your finger off. There you go. Much better. Thank you. No, your finger is back. Yeah. I notice that Bernard and Kafui, the two of you seem to be more of the give it to God, I still belong to the party frame of mind. But Eric is disappointed. He wants to do something about it. Do you feel that that's not an option to the two of you? Let me start with Bernard.
What is more important is that...
Forgive me, Kafui. Let me start with Bernard. Bernard, can you hear us?
Like you do, yes. You see, the fact of the matter is, not that I'm all that happy I'm not happy with the decision, though, as I said. But like what happened in elsewhere, burning offices, equipment and stuff. That is what we are believing this shouldn't happen. No matter what, NEC is the highest decision-making body in our party. NEC has, and there's nothing that we can do. In as much as that I'm not happy, there's nothing that I can do after NEC has spoken, right? So I need to help fight the biggest fight ahead of us, being fighting our opponents.
Well, there are some options available to you, Bernard, if I may point them out. For example, you could seek legal redress. Your party is a party of laws. So if you feel that they have violated their laws, you can seek legal redress. That's an option. Another option is you could stand as an independent candidate if you feel that your party is not living up to the tenets of what you believe in. If you feel your party is not being honest with you, you could run as an independent candidate. Those are options available to you. So it's not that there's nothing you can do.
You see, I agree with you. But you see, in politics, we deal with numbers. And then when we lose one particular constituency, being Chakwad, of course, I can contest as an independent candidate. And then, you know, I mean, anything can happen. But I run my party. And as I said, NPP is a party that I cannot run down because I respect my leaders and I respect decisions. So if they should tell me, because as Eric said, it is not only becoming an MP that you can serve your constituents. Anything can happen. You can be given you might not know the reason why, but you know, my chance to because I'm not happy with the decision. But
right.
The party's interest, why I'm considering that I'm saying this. Okay. Not because I have any special arrangement, not because I want to do anything to my party. That is why I can.
Okay, I think we'll have to wrap up at this point, but I want to thank you all for your time with us. We appreciate it very much. This is a conversation that no doubt we can continue another time. So Eric, Bernard and Kafui, wish you the best of luck. Thanks for your time. Right, now let's turn our attention to the Eastern region, where all the decisions of the vetting committee were upheld by the NEC. That actually affects two of the guests we just had. Aspirants like lawyer Philip Addison, former FIDA Executive Director Gloria Ofuribwedu have also been disqualified. Now, Arba Kumson spoke to a rather unhappy Gloria Ofuribwedu, who tells us that the decision is unfair.
I was told that my name was not even mentioned in the report. So my impression was that if my name is not in, then it means when the appeal is even decided, mine will not be decided. And there were, you know, whispers that I'd withdrawn. People thought I'd withdrawn and all that, which I considered absolutely ridiculous. But well, finally I left. And this morning I heard on the news that I've been disqualified. And I'm like, disqualified? That's absolutely ridiculous. But I realized that there's a pattern, you know. A lot of us who were, you know, aspiring for parliamentary seats occupied by ministers have been disqualified in the region. But I would say that it's a democracy. If we don't want competition or we don't want competitive democracy, principles laid down by Dankwa Buzia and Professor Dubois, who we all supported at the beginning of the return to democracy, then we might as well abolish the delegate system so that nobody votes and then the party handpicks. But that will also be a dangerous precedent. And don't forget that scientific research has been shown by Benefson that the party stands to lose about 400,000 votes if they handpick candidates. Even Dr. Makutufo, who is also a member and a leading member of the party, has warned that this issue of handpicking candidates is also unfair. So I consider it unfair. I never saw the incumbent in that party, Atachia. He showed up in February 2008 and within 3 months contested the primaries. What are you talking about? He wasn't disqualified at that time. You want to say I'm disqualified. How did he enter the party in February 2008 and contest elections within 3 months? What kind of card did he bring? What kind of card? What privileges is the party trying to sacrifice me to give to him? He should show us how he entered the party in February 2008 and was able to contest within 3 months. Then I'll consider it as fair.
Now let's move to the Bono-Ahafo region and precisely to Doma, where some supporters we are told, are on rampage protesting the disqualification of their candidate. Precious Semevo is our man on the ground there. He joins us live. Precious, first of all, is it the Bono region or the Ahafo region, and what exactly is the situation where you are?
Well, it's the Bono region, and as you rightly said, Doma Central constituency. That is where the incident happened yesterday. Now, this is what happened. Yesterday in the afternoon, as we gather from the constituency office of the party, some party followers or supporters who are believed to be aligned to one of the two candidates contesting to represent the New Patriotic Party in the upcoming general election, that is Dr. Yao Yeboah. Now, we understand that during yesterday's Asempa FM's EcoC Send program, a panelist on that program said that in Doma Central, Dr. Yao Yeboah allegedly will be disqualified or has been disqualified to contest, leaving Mr. Kukwajima Menu, the current MP and Minister of Health, as the sole candidate to represent the New Patriotic Party. That appears not to have gone down well with some followers allegedly affiliated to Dr. Yao Yeboah. And I'm told 3 of them went to the party office, gathered some belongings at the party office, some equipment, air conditioning, radio, chairs, and other things, brought them outside and then set them ablaze. We are told that the 3 of them who perpetrated that act has been arrested as at yesterday. But we also understand that there is calm today because the police provided security at the party office to ensure that everything goes on well. People can be able to do their normal activities. Now, a check at the constituency level indicates that they do not have any official communication suggesting that somebody has been disqualified or not. And another check at the regional office of the New Patriotic Party, that is the Bono region, also indicates that they do not have any form of communication from the national office suggesting that a report indicates someone, and for this matter, Dr. Yao Yeboah has been disqualified. So the action by the fans of Dr. Yao Yeboah allegedly may have acted on wrong information. They can only wait for official communication to come from the national, then to the regional, before to the constituency, before they can act on it. But as we understand, there is peace in Doma as we speak. People are going about their normal activities in Doma Central, and the constituency executives are yet to officially hold a meeting to decide on what to do. But the police are still investigating the issue, and sooner than later, they will be coming out as to the way forward.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you for that. Now, we're joined on the phone by Seth Asari. Seth is a constituency organizer for Doma, where some party supporters have vandalized the party office. Seth, thank you for speaking to us. First of all, the most important question, when are we going to find out the results of this vetting? Has Dr. Yeboah been disqualified?
Well, as your correspondent just said, the constituency has not had any official communique indicating who has been disqualified and who is going unopposed. But we have rumors that during the NEC meeting, National Executive Committee meeting, and the National Council meeting, there was best consensus that the Minister of Health should go unopposed, thereby disqualifying Dr. Yao Yeboah, who is his contender.
So say that again. Dr. Yao Yeboah has been disqualified? Is that what you're saying?
That is the rumor going around.
But you're a party executive for that particular district. You should know more than a rumor. What are the facts?
That's what I said. I said the constituency has not had any formal communique to that effect. we only have rumors, and we are waiting for the official comment.
So when are you supposed to hear back? According to your program of how you are doing the vetting, when are the results of the vetting supposed to be communicated to you at the district level?
Well, that is determined by the National Executive Council, and I understand the General Secretary will speak to these issues anytime soon.
So you don't actually know when you'll be hearing the results?
Not actually, but I know between now and Monday we should be hearing or having a very formal communication.
Right. Okay. Now, the individuals who vandalized the office, according to our correspondent, they've been arrested. Is the party going to press charges against them?
Well, some of them have been arrested. Others are still on the run, and the police is doing their best to pursue them and get them so that they can also face the rigors of the law.
Right. So
as to whether the party is going to charge them, I think once we bring them before the law, we send them to court. The court is going to look at the damages that they have caused to the party office, and if the court sees it right to at least charge them, then the court will charge them, and they'll have.
So you don't intend to attempt to interfere with the investigation? You will let the police,
not at all. Not at
right.
all.
Okay.
Now, it's a criminal offense, and we have to leave it to those who are in charge.
Right. Now, Dr. Yao Yeboah awaits his fate. You, as the constituency organizer, are saying that there is a rumor that he has been disqualified, but you don't have concrete information yet. Well, so how did his vetting actually go? Your executives were involved in this. Were there issues with his vetting?
Well, questions were asked, he answered them, and so, I am not part of the vetting committee. I was only an observer, and I don't know the criteria for qualifying or disqualifying an aspirant. I only went there to observe.
But you observed. So what were some of the issues or problems that were dealt with or raised by the committee?
I don't think there were so much issues that were problematic. They asked normal questions as to his contributions to the party, why he has been staying out for so long. Whenever he comes to contest and he loses, he goes and never comes until 4 years before he comes again to contest, and those kind of questions.
Right.
He answered them.
So it will come as a surprise to you if the rumor turns out to be true and he's disqualified. Will you be surprised based on what you observed?
I will not be surprised.
You will not be surprised?
No, not surprised. You know why?
Tell me.
Because the incumbent MP has worked so hard here to lift the image of the party. As of now, he is the health minister, and in this time of COVID-19, I can say he is the first gentleman of the land.
Well, no, you can't say that. That's not his position.
He is not, but in this time, he is working hard to curb this disease so that it will not spread out of hand. Now,
right.
Once he is doing this kind of job, and I think the party thought it wise that he shouldn't have divided attention. He should concentrate on what he is doing as a health minister to help the entire nation. So if he has to be coming back to the constituency and going because he has primaries to run and he has campaigns to run, then I think it will be quite unfair, actually. Looking at his contributions to the party since 2008 till date, I think if he goes on a poll, it wouldn't be surprising at all.
But that is not grounds to disqualify a qualified contestant, is it? After all, you're a democratic organization, aren't you?
I'm not saying that is grounds to disqualify a qualified person.
But you're saying that you will not be surprised.
I told you earlier, I don't know the criteria to qualify or qualify a candidate.
But you're saying that you will not be surprised as a party executive. You will not be surprised if a qualified candidate is disqualified because his opponent has been working hard?
I have a problem with the use of qualified candidates because the party has not declared that person qualified yet. So I cannot say disqualified a qualified candidate. As I told you, I don't know the criteria for qualifying or disqualifying a candidate.
Well, I'm saying this based on your own description of how the vetting went. That the questions were normal, the answers were normal, but you will not be surprised if he's disqualified. So you understand why I'm asking you if a person doesn't appear to have done anything warranting a disqualification.
With the adjective qualified.
Okay.
You see, because the party has not declared him qualified.
So allow me to ask the question without that word.
Right.
So do you feel that a candidate should be disqualified because his opponent has worked hard?
No, I don't think that is what I'm trying to suggest. What I'm suggesting is that the party knows best. The party headquarters, the National Executive Council, which is the highest body in our party, knows best. They know who is best as a candidate for each constituency. And I think that is why they set up committees to first bring their reports, and they look through their reports and qualify or disqualify candidates.
So why is your party holding a national conference in a couple of weeks, for delegates to choose their representatives in other constituencies? Why go through that if the party's leadership already knows who is best to represent you? Then why bother with elections, parliamentary candidate elections?
No, clearly, there might be 2, 3 or more people who qualify and who, in the wisdom of the party, know that they can do well in the constituency. If that happens, then those people will have to be allowed to go for the delegates to decide on one of them.
Okay, Mr. Seth Asare, thank you very much for your time with us. Seth Asare is the Doma Central Constituency organizer.